They come from all across the world, from many different lands. The brave from Britain, the confident from America, the determined from Japan, and anyone else, anywhere else, who wants to step up to the challenge. 100 challengers compete across a 4-stage obstacle course devised by the devil. Success means glory. Failure means humiliation. It truly is win or die. Many have tried. Very few have succeeded. But they all have one goal: to become the next champion. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm Hunch Unit 751 and welcome back to Ninja Warrior of Halo. Tournament 18 is well underway. So far, the first 25 challengers have stepped up to take on this brand new Stage 1. And although we've seen the usual frills and spills with plenty of early exits, we've also seen plenty of progress made on the course. Newcomer Rog getting all the way to the flying chute, and returning competitors like Atlantic Champ, Chris, and an epic Reshiram all getting deep into the course, with Reshiram going out on the final obstacle of Stage 1. But despite all those failings, one man has succeeded. Newcomer Sauron Sucks put in the training and made all of the obstacles look like a piece of cake, as he powered his way through the course to become the first ever competitor to beat Stage 1 on the Halo 5 course, and is currently the only competitor moving on to Stage 2. But today we have the next 25 challengers all hoping to join Sauron in Stage 2. Amongst them, more returning competitors, including a few who will be making their final appearance on the course, and the first of 2 veterans. Does anyone else have what it takes to join Sauron in the second stage? Let's head back to Stage 1 start line to find out. Kicking off today's episode is a newcomer called Agent 0987. He has 100 seconds to complete all 9 obstacles, starting with the sextuple steps, and it's over already! Well, that's a good start, isn't it? Isn't it always lovely when that happens? Anyway, moving on to our second competitor, this one has experience. This is Alex J189, the former Halo racer, back today for his 5th and what looks like it's going to be his last appearance. He's on his way to uni soon, so he's basically going to pull a Dom and disappear from the face of all Xbox. So let's see how Alex can do in this tournament. He had a terrible tournament on the MCC last time out, going out on the first obstacle, which was easily his worst ever performance, but he has passed the first obstacle today. A little bit slow, but he got through it. Now heading onto the flying board. This caused a few problems in the last episode, but Alex gets through it, and now he moves on to the pole maze. Eyeing it up. Oh no, Alex! What was that? What was that? That was a terrible technique. I don't know what Alex was thinking there. Did he think he could just sort of like walk into it and then climb up it? Well, whatever he was thinking, it was a mistake, and that is a horrible way to end your final appearance. Our next competitor taking on the course is newcomer Venom, 123345. This is a good friend of DHG Fireball. So we're continuing this long-running trend in this tournament of having friends or cousins or any other associated family member take part in this course. Fireball's provided about 3 different people so far in this tournament. Let's see how Venom can do. One of them, DHG Fireball Jr., got all the way to the jumping spider in the first episode. Can Venom do the same? Gotta time your jump just right on this flying board. Oh, and he almost got it wrong, but he got away with it. Now heading on to the pole maze. Can he fare better than Alex did? He gets the jump right. Oh, but he overshoots the pole. He got too good of a jump. This pole maze is trickier than it looks. You've got to get your jump just right. Next up is Volcanic Crowd 5, back for his second appearance. This guy was the first competitor to make it to the flying chute in the last tournament. Unfortunately, he was unable to get past the flying chute, but now he is hoping to get back there again and beat the flying chute this time round and beat stage 1 for the first time. Looking pretty solid on the sextuple steps. Quickly going into the flying board, and he times his jump perfectly. It's all about timing on that obstacle. Now for the pole maze. Not too much momentum here. Ooh, he doesn't get up the pole. Not on the second try either. If he crouched, I think he might have made that. He almost overshoots on the third go, but he's fine, and he's into the head slide. Moving through. The first man moving on to the jumping spider. He might want to pick up the pace. He's lost a bit of time there on the pole maze, but he's using the pallets nicely, and he gets into the spider. But then he screws up the jump! What was that? Another competitor, just like Avow's the Samurai, who gets to the flying chute in the last tournament, goes out on the jumping spider in this tournament. Next up is a blast from the past. This is Flame Vortex 03, back for his second appearance, but his first appearance since tournament 15. When he competed in that tournament, he was known as My Mum 47, which provided a barrel of laughs, that gamer tag. Now he's changed his gamer tag, and he's Flame Vortex 03. He's timed this a bit wrong with the flying board. It was resetting when he got there, so he's lost a few seconds, but it doesn't put him off. He still gets through the obstacle. His performance in tournament 15 was not all that spectacular, as he went out on the rolling ball, but he's looking good so far at the minute. Oh, doing a little 360. Still a long way to go, Flame. Let's not get cocky. As we've already seen, this jumping spider can take you out even once you get into it. But he flies through the inside of the jumping spider, and he's the first man moving on to the spinning log. This didn't take out anyone in the last episode, but geez Louise, Flame almost failed it there. But he's moving on to the warped wall, and he gets up it in one. This run is a little bit all over the place, but Flame is looking good. Can he do the flying chute? This took out a few competitors in the last episode, but Flame lands it, and he's going to go for the jump on the dismount, and he gets it! Flame, with 24 seconds left on the clock. This is looking like an incredible comeback. 18 seconds left now. He lands in the rope ladder. He should have enough time here, and Flame Vortex, who failed stage 1 on his debut in tournament 15, took a 2-tournament absence, and he has made his comeback in style. Flame Vortex clears stage 1 with 6.1 seconds left on the clock. That is fantastic stuff by Flame Vortex. Change of gamer tag and change of competitor. It's like he's a new man. Brilliant performance from Flame. Nothing like what we saw from the young boy that competed in tournament 15. The boy may be becoming a man. Flame made most of the obstacles look easy, but he came very close to failing the spinning log. Sauron, we thought Sauron's was close in the last episode. Flame was even closer. He was all over the place on that obstacle, but Flame defeats it, and he's moving on to stage 2. Well, following Flame's unexpected success, more competitors arrived to take on the course, and all failed. First was returning competitor Dark Wall, who once again struggled and was unable to beat stage 1 going out on the jumping spider. We then had a host of newcomers arrive to take on the course, and all of them failed. Cornbread Man at least also managed to get into the inside of the jumping spider, but nobody else could match that performance and dropped out on one of the first 3 obstacles. Even a guy with Ninja in his name couldn't get past the very first jump. Neither could Dude Dustin, who tried to go for a quick technique on the steps. That didn't work. Judo Phoenix also discovered that the first step is a bit of a bitch. And then our final 2 competitors couldn't crack the flying board. All about timing, and they got their timing wrong. It now means that 39 competitors have attempted the course, and although we've seen Flame succeed, nobody else has managed to move on. Next up on the course is another newcomer, but this one is a big fan of the show, making his debut. This is Hot Volvo 2000. This guy is a fan of the channel, and also coincidentally is a fan of I Spiteful. And he met me in one of Spiteful's custom games, and started talking to me about the channel and the show, and then decided the rest is history. Decided to do a run on this course. He's not. Oh my goodness me! He almost fell off the back of the fourth step. Very rarely do you see that. He's got an interesting technique on the sextuple steps, but it gets him through the obstacle. That's all that matters. And he goes right for it on the flying board, but his timing gone wrong. He still gets a jump, and he comes up just short. That was a fantastic attempt, but not good enough. Well, our next competitor at the start line's got a big crowd supporting him. The question is, can he deliver a performance? The next competitor to take on the course is Alpha Puma. Back today for only his 4th appearance on the show, but he has already made a big impact so far. Puma made his debut back in Tournament 15, where, like many other newcomers before him, he struggled and went out on the classic rolling ball. But he came back with a vengeance in Tournament 16 on his 2nd appearance, and Puma proved that practice does make perfect, as he took all the practice he put in and used it perfectly to defeat Stage 1 in style, becoming the first competitor to beat Stage 1 in Tournament 16, and he was the first of 22 to make it to Stage 2 in that tournament. But Puma wasn't done there. He followed that impressive Stage 1 performance by then being the first of a record 11 competitors to beat Stage 2. And then, in the 3rd stage, he beat one obstacle after another, and we all started to believe that the greatest of all comebacks was on, as Puma closed in on a Stage 3 success. But sadly, a missed jump and an unfortunate bounce onto the final obstacle of Stage 3 cost him, and Puma was unable to advance any further. That incredible performance set expectations high for Puma coming into the MCC tournament. Not just from us, but from the man himself. Sadly though, Puma suffered a humiliating exit, going out on just the 4th obstacle of the brand new Stage 1, the jumping spider. And it looked like it was back to square one. The question now is, can Puma put on another comeback performance just as he did in Tournament 16? And will this veteran make it back to Stage 2 and beyond? Or will this Stage 1 defeat him once again? Alpha Puma, the first returning veteran back for this tournament. How will he fare? 100 seconds for 9 obstacles. Flying through the sextuple steps. The crowd is clearly very happy, firing guns off. Let's see if they'll be celebrating at the finish line with Puma. He's quickly through the flying board. This is a man who puts in the practice. He will not rest until this course is defeated, and he has set himself high expectations in this tournament. He wants to get all the way to the cliffhanger in Stage 3 in this tournament, but first he's going to have to defeat the jumping spider. This is where he failed in the last tournament. Interesting technique, stopping on the pallet there. Cautious, but he made it work. Of course, this version of the jumping spider is different to the one he attempted in the last tournament with no trampoline anymore, but he gets his revenge on it nonetheless. He's going for a hop, skip and a jump technique on the spinning log, and he makes it work nicely. Now for the classic warped wall. No great wall anymore. He gets the old warped wall. He beat this in Tournament 16 and he beats it again today, albeit on the 2nd try. Now, this is his first experience of the flying chute in tournament. Can he get it? Yes, he can. He gets the save jump. Can he get out? Yes, he can. 22 seconds left on the clock. It looks like Puma is going to be bagging his 2nd Stage 1 success. Unless something truly disastrous happens now on the rope ladder. He's got the time to make the climb, and climb he does to the top. The crowd is chanting Gandalf as Puma beats Stage 1 with 4.7 seconds left on the clock. the magician, put on a magic performance. He's not a magician, he's a Puma. Last time I checked, Pumas, you know, didn't go to Hogwarts. But, you know, Puma still beat stage 1. He proved he's a jumper, if not a wizard, as Puma put on another fantastic performance. Maybe not the quickest, and he didn't really have too many slip-ups. He was careful on the jumping spider, doing something that we haven't seen anyone else do, land on that second pallet, and then jump into the spider. And although he did have a one slip-up on the warped wall, he still recovered nicely to make it up on the second try. And the rest of the obstacles were a piece of cake for Puma. Could he live up to his targets that he set in this tournament and make it to stage 3 again? Well, we're going to have to wait to find out. But for now, Puma is heading back to stage 2. The next competitor to take on the course is Danny Boy 2589, the classic derp. Although this derp's been doing pretty well in more recent tournaments. He's beaten the first obstacle in each of the last 3 tournaments. So maybe it's... No, I was going to say, maybe it's a change of fortunes for him, but no, he's back in the water on the first obstacle. From one derp to another, next up, we have Pandas for Life. And he will be a Pandas for Life, or a Panda for Life. But he's back today for his 7th appearance, and it looks like this could be Panda's last appearance on the course. He started being involved with the jump community less and less, particularly since Halo 5's kicked off. And it's looking like, oh, Pandas! He jumped really early there, but he got away with it nicely. Can Pandas put on a good final performance? No, Pandas! No, that's not the performance we were hoping for. Pandas drops out on the pole maze, just as Alex did. This pole maze is apparently gaining a reputation for ending people's careers. First Alex and now Pandas. He went too quick. He got the jump perfect onto the pole of the pole maze, but then he was in too much of a rush to get into the head slide and missed it altogether. Is this the end for Pandas? Is this the last time we'll see him? Well, as we potentially say goodbye to one competitor, we say hello again to an old one. And this guy is a blast from the past. Next up on the course is the man formerly known as Red Apparition. The man who first competed back in Tournament 6 on the classic Halo Reach course, and although his debut didn't go according to plan, his second appearance in Tournament 7 did, as he was one of 8 competitors to beat Stage 1 in Tournament 7. Then, on a Stage 2 that took out 7 of the 8 competitors that attempted it, Red put on an impressive performance, going the furthest out of the 7 competitors that failed, coming up just 2 jumps short of making it to Stage 3. Going out on the vehicle ramps, but still securing an impressive second place finish. Sadly, in his 2 other appearances on the Halo Reach course, he was unable to replicate that strong second place performance, but things were still looking good for Red on this course. Unfortunately, since the days of Halo Reach, Red has only competed once since then. That was in Tournament 12 when he had another disappointing performance, going out early on Stage 1. And now, after 5 tournaments away, Red is back, and with a new gamer tag that I'm not even going to bother saying or trying to translate because I have no idea what it means. So I'm just going to keep calling him Red. After a 6 tournament gap, 5 tournament absence, it's great to see Red back on this course. And this guy, he's definitely gone from being a boy. I talked about it earlier with Flame. He's gone from being a boy to definitely being a man compared to when he first competed on this course. He was a big fan of the show when he first started competing on the Halo Reach course. But when you've been gone for so long, surely some of that jumping skill's lost. He's being cautious on the flying board and it died, drops out. It looked like he timed it right, but he couldn't get a jump off the board. That's disappointing for Red. But it was still great to see him back, and hopefully we'll see him again in another tournament. Next up is newcomer Scrappy Knight, who... I've done it again. This guy is some kind of internet sensation of some kind. I don't know whether he's a YouTuber or a streamer, but this guy came to me and asked for... I know of him. Like I say, I don't know if he has a YouTube channel. I don't know if he's a streamer, but I had him on my friends list, and he suddenly just came to me and wanted to compete on the course. And here he is today, making his debut. You see, it does sometimes happen. Sometimes you do get competitors that just turn up out of the blue. You know, it's not always the hosts going to ask, oh, we'll slip up there on the pole maze. And if we fast forward 20 seconds, he's still at the pole maze, but he's through now. Yeah, it's not always a case of the hosts just run around finding these competitors. Sometimes these random competitors do come to us. And Scrappy Knight's doing okay, but looking at the time here, 30 seconds left on the clock, and he's only just got into the jumping spider. This is not looking good. He's picking up the pace a little bit inside the jumping spider, but this is all going to be for nothing. He's not going to beat the course in time. And he fails the jumping spider anyway, so... Well, at least he didn't, like, time out on the spinning log or something. We now pick up our next competitor, Vulcan 1610. Another competitor returning, having missed the last tournament. He did not compete in the MCC tournament. He's making his first appearance since tournament 16. And he's also having trouble with this pole maze. This pole maze is causing a lot of problems for competitors today, whether it's failing the obstacle or losing time on it, and it has cost Vulcan some time here. Can he make it up inside the jumping spider? He's into it nicely. Almost overshoots there, but gets a nice save jump. Vulcan is one of the British competitors, and although he's yet to beat Stage 1, failed to do it on the Halo 4 course, he does believe he has the skills to make it to Stage 2. He's moving on to the spinning log. Oh no, that's a slip up, and Vulcan is the first competitor to fail the spinning log. Bad luck to Vulcan. Next up on the course is a duo of competitors. First, Ninja Aura Brian. Let's see how Brian will fare on the course, wearing some snazzy armor. Moving on to the sextuple steps nicely, shooting the step. Interesting, I don't think that's going to help. You want to be careful, those steps might bite back. But he gets through it reasonably quickly. Moving on to the flying board. Not caused too many problems today, although it has taken out a veteran. But it hasn't taken out Brian. Now for the pole maze. Ooh, almost got it on the first try there, but quickly recovers and gets it on the second try and is into the head slide. And down the other side nicely. Onto the jumping spider. He's looking pretty good at the minute. Goes for it. Oh no, what on earth was that? What on earth was that? We've got to take a replay at this. That was completely unexpected. He was flying straight for the first pallet, and I guess he must have jumped too early and then incorrectly tried to jump off again instantly. But if you got to go out in style. Now for the other member of this Ninja Aura group, this is Ninja Aura Anna. Can she do just as well as Brian did? 100 seconds, 9 obstacles, tank start fired, and she's in the water. Oh dear. I think we're going to just forget that happened. 2 competitors left to go now, and the next up is a competitor, a long-time competitor making a landmark appearance. Next up on this course is the Sparta Cat, or Spartan 781, or Spartan Army, or Kenny, whatever you want to call him. Kenny is one of our longest serving competitors, having made his debut all the way back in the first Halo Reach tournament of Tournament 2. And although you never know what you're going to get from Kenny, whether it's failing the first obstacle or producing a personal best by getting to the 5th obstacle, one thing you can be certain of is that Kenny will literally show up whenever he feels like it. In 17 previous tournaments, he's competed just 9 times, and on only one occasion competed 3 tournaments in a row. Tournaments 9, 10, and 11. After Tournament 11, he missed Tournament 12, but came back for Tournament 13, and then missed the next 2 tournaments before making his most recent appearance on the final Xbox 360 tournament. And he did pretty well in Tournament 16, once again making it to the 5th obstacle, matching his personal best. So the question is, what kind of performance will we get from Kenny today? And it's a landmark moment for Kenny because today is his 10th appearance on the course. Great moment for him, and really weird to think that out of all the competitors that still compete on this course, Kenny is a competitor that I've known, or is one of the competitors that I've known for the longest time. And it's also weird to think that he's now actually, although he's been in less tournaments than Dom, strictly speaking, he's competed in a longer run of tournaments than Dom has, having made his debut 17 tournaments ago. But Kenny is through the first obstacle, so no complete humiliation. Kenny is also, of course, a big member of Ultimate Halo, the YouTube channel. Oh no, but Kenny's out on the flying board! That's pretty ironic, because that's the obstacle he reckoned was the easiest on stage 1. That brings us to our final competitor of the day. This is Paddy freakin, aka Paddy freakin Clips, aka Paddy freakin of the Ninty Foundation Society, aka just Paddy, aka Pat, aka Patrick, and aka Paddy the Jumper. And Paddy's through the sextuple steps very nicely. Only took him 10 seconds there. You pretty much can't do it much quicker than that. Anyway, this is Paddy freakin, back for his second appearance. His debut in the last tournament didn't go according to plan, as he became the first ever competitor to fail the jumping spider. Disappointing for him, because despite being a newcomer, he had big aspirations to beat stage 1 in the last tournament. Now he's looking for some revenge. Can he get his revenge on the jumping spider? We saw Puma get his revenge. Can Paddy follow him? He's looking pretty good at the moment. Taking his time on this last jump. This last jump is a big jump, but Paddy gets it and is moving on to the spinning log. This just took out Vulcan, but Paddy is smooth as you like down the spinning log onto the warped wall. Can he beat this iconic obstacle? Yes, he can on the first try. This is looking good from Paddy. What about the flying chute? Nobody's failed it so far today. And it looks like Paddy's not going to either. Doesn't even need a save jump. And with 22 seconds left on the clock, is Paddy going to be our third man moving on today? He wanted revenge, and it looks like Paddy's going to get it. He's climbing to the top. Not the fastest, the klaxon sounds, but that's not going to stop Paddy freakin, as he beats stage 1 with 4.4 seconds left on the clock. And Paddy beats stage 1 for the first time ever. Well done to Paddy. Revenge is well and truly on for our competitors in this tournament. Paddy was looking very good on all the obstacles. There wasn't a single obstacle where he lost time or slipped up or had to take 2 tries at it. The pole maze, through the jumping spider, up the warped wall in 1, and didn't even need a save jump on the flying chute. That's how solid he was on the obstacle. And it means Paddy, like the others, will be moving on to the second stage. And with that, we've come to the end of today's episode. The first 50 challengers have now taken on stage 1, and we are halfway through. And incredibly, we already have 4 men moving on to the second stage. And although we only saw 4 out of the 25 challengers make it past the jumping spider in today's episode, 3 of them went on to beat stage 1, showing just how impressive the pool of competitors are in this tournament, and once again highlights that there is a new generation of competitors rising on Halo jumping. Flame Vortex returned after a 2-tournament absence to put on probably the best run of the tournament so far. Veteran Alpha Puma got his revenge on the jumping spider, and Paddy freakin also returned and got his revenge on the jumping spider. They will join Sauron Sucks, who already beat stage 1 in the last episode. And it now means that we have an awesome foursome moving on to stage 2. Flame Vortex currently holding the fastest time, but all 4 of the finishers have finished with reasonably close times on the clock. This success that we've seen so far in the tournament is unbelievable when you compare it to the last tournament. In Tournament 17, Ironbug Champion was the only competitor out of the first 50 to beat the 4th obstacle. The fact that we already have 4 men moving on to stage 2 highlights just how impressive our competitors have been so far. And with so much success already, how will our next 25 challenges fare? Amongst them, more newcomers hoping to show off their skills, a few returning competitors from the Xbox 360 tournaments, and the first of our heroes from the last tournament. Who else has what it takes to join Sauron, Paddy, Puma, and Flame in Stage 2? Join us again next time, guys, to find out, but until then, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we will see you again next time. Until then, I've been Hunt Unit 751. Goodbye, guys.